I said, my name is Patricia. I am a nutritionist. I work with small-scale farmers in helping them access information that help them improve their produce productivity. I also host a podcast that tells the CEO stories of those who are contributing to food security systems. And I am here because Wakesho and the group, Terry and the rest, invited me to come and share with you something. And I'm so grateful that all of you availed yourself. Na karibuni sana. Yeah. So I'm gonna before actually I do that, I want to appreciate the elders for what I could not come early in the morning, and I'm grateful that nevertheless I made time to come. I'm so grateful for the elders. Everyone who was seated here, and your presentation was, what would I say? A conversation starter. You know, we need to have these conversations, and we have all those problems. So, what are our solutions? Right? What do we need to do? So, I'm going to go to the presentation. Can you do the first slide? Just, yeah. So, African foods have the power of preventing lifestyle diseases, and the people who have come before me, they have talked about this. But I had another conference the other day, and we were talking about how slavery and colonialism has affected our food choices. When you go to a restaurant, what do you order? Yeah, anyone? What do you order? Pizza. Another person?
I'm guilty.
Beef burgers, chicken burgers. You know, these are the things you order. And for those people who have been in Kenya, do you know of Githeri man? Yeah, Githeri man. Everybody, including the media, they mocked that man, right? Yeah, we mocked him. And when you eat protein, is made of amino acids. So when you eat when you eat githeri, yeah, githeri is the mixture of beans and maize, which I think that would be an equivalent of corn. Okay, so when you eat that, it's a complete protein. So the person who eats githeri and the one who eats beef, there's no difference. Yeah. But we are ashamed of our food. Yet our food has the ability to prevent lifestyle diseases. Okay? So the first slide, then can we go to the next one? So what are African foods? Anybody? When we say we are Africans, what do we actually mean? Is it the skin? Is it being born here? Yeah? Are you like sleepy? Yeah?
You have like
Did you eat too much?
Huh.
So what are African foods, yeah?
Garlic, native.
Mr. Komana?
I would say that any food, okay, fine,
Yes.
but let me also contribute anything, any of our foods or any other foods that are not found on the menus.
Mm-hmm.
Those could be considered.
It could be considered.
Okay.
But I was just saying, just food endemic to the soil, like prior to the arrival of colonists.
Okay, you have to be a little bit like, the accent like too fast maybe?
Oh, I'm sorry, food endemic to the soil of the continent.
Yeah.
That was grown prior to outsiders arriving.
Great. Food that was grown before the white man, okay? Before slavery, before colonization. That is African food, okay? Can we name any African food? Ugali, managu, sukuma. Sukuma is collard greens. Yeah, someone said that. Yeah.
Egusi, fufu.
Oh yeah, this time we might just have a chorus. Yeah.
Yes, saga, which you call spider flower.
Saga, which is
Spider flower.
spider flower.
Spider flower.
Spider flower, which is saga in Kisii, right?
Managu.
Managu.
Yes. Rema.
Millet. I'm only hearing from my Kenyan counterparts. What about the Jamaican?
Wavy.
Yeah, weepy, millet.
Cassava.
Yeah, cassava.
Potatoes.
Potatoes. Yeah, Jamaican. Sorghum. Yeah. What? Terere. Amaranthus. Grains. Arrowroots. Arrowroots. Those are from my tribe. Okay? The Gikuyu people. You know, they would have the river that runs through people's farm. They plant them there, and they are very good for breakfast. Okay? I did not hear anybody say cocoa. What? Washe sweet potatoes. Yeah? And cocoa. Cocoa powder is very good. It has an amino acid called tyrosine. Tyrosine is very good in management of stress because it is used to make dopamine. Okay? So if you're feeling, because all of us get stressed, isn't it? Yeah, we have a hard day of things are not going our way, and it does affect our neurotransmitters. So if you can have cocoa like daily, don't put sugar, just cocoa, maybe a little bit milk for taste, no sugar. It's going to lift your mood up a bit. Okay, next. Why are Africans losing the value of African foods? Why? Why are we losing it? Yeah? Back there, Mr. Kamwana, there's someone who wants to say something.
Because the food which is coming in triggers more of our primal instincts concerning, for example, fatty food, which back in the days be a survival mechanism of having a lot of calories, but nowadays it's obviously hurting us because it's too abundantly available.
It's too
abundantly available.
In Africa?
Like in general, if you go to KFC, it's not like it's gonna prolong your survival. It's doing the opposite. But back in the day, like when we were still in primal stages, that was very different. So for sugar, it's the same, and then for salt, it's also like that. You have a bunch of ingredients in those foods which are just making us addicted, right? So like an indigenous food can't win against a food which is making you addicted if you don't have the awareness about it, right?
Yeah. Right. One of it very much available, Mrs.
I feel that one is
Mr. Kamwana, please.
Oh, somebody else?
No, just get the microphone.
Oh. I feel that one thing that is causing our food value to lose value is the lifestyle. Because now you find many people, they stop cooking at home and they start like ordering food from the supermarket, I don't know from where. And also I think we are getting a bit lazy also. And we want quick made things. So we are not being African like we used to do. You buy wash and you cook with it. The lifestyle is part of the problem.
Lifestyle, availability, too much availability, and we're getting addicted. Yes, Miss? Mr. Come on, okay, let me go here, then we come there. Miss Lisa.
Yeah, but there's no food turnover. The soil is being depleted. So I grow one thing in my farm every year for like 20 years, and I'm depleting the soil. There's no turnover. I'm not putting the nutrients back into the soil. And so when I'm eating the food, you know, they did a study in America, and they were studying the oranges, and they found that 80% of the oranges they studied, they had zero vitamin C.
Whoa.
Zero vitamin C in the oranges. That's because it's being depleted. The soil is being depleted.
Very interesting. Just before you go there, very interesting. I want to add on to what she has said. I have been involved in research from 2017 to now, studying food security systems in Kenya. One thing that was so alarming in this country is that farmers don't test their soil. Farmers don't test their soil. They don't. And if a farmer has to test their soil, the laboratory is here in Nairobi. One. After how many years of independence?
60.
Are we part of the problem?
Where?
Are we part of the problem?
No.
Yeah, we should be part of the problem. We are part of the problem because we are not bringing interventions in the community that are going to help us in achieving functional food security systems in Africa. And as she said, what you ate today came from the soil. So if the soil is not healthy, what are you eating? What are you eating?
Food from unhealthy soil.
Come again?
Food from unhealthy soil.
Food
it has
from
no
unhealthy
nutrients.
soil. So are you going to get the nutrients that you need for your body?
No.
No, and that's where diseases come in. I did my soil, I tested my soil, I did soil analysis, and I planted collard greens, that is sukuma wiki, okay? Brought them to Nairobi, gave them to one lady. That lady told me, Kiswahili sijawahi kula sukuma sababu inaniharibikia. Meaning, it gives her acidity, okay? But she ate mine. Why? I tested my soil. The pH was low, meaning if the soil was acidic, and this is very much in central Kenya, okay? The soil was acidic. I added lime, agricultural lime, to increase the pH level. Sorry. To increase the pH level. And I grew my sukuma wiki, and that is how she enjoyed her sukuma wiki. Let's go to the next.
When we was dumped off in America, our colonized was British.
Mm-hmm.
And they love chickens and hogs and we did a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
But when they taken us to America, they didn't give us that African food. They gave us chickens and hogs.
And that's what
Everything is a
That's what I'm talking about. This is how slavery and colonization has affected our food choices. Okay?
So I've experienced, I'll say in Rwanda, and I'm learning that East African foods are very similar, but a lot of the diseases in Rwanda is stuff like diabetes, high blood pressure, and you look at the type of foods they eat, it's a lot of the potatoes, the red potatoes, very starchy foods that turn into sugar. So even though this is the foods that we grow on this side of the continent, and we eat a lot of it, a lot of times we're just looking at the vitamins that come from the food, from those foods, but we don't look at the effect that the food has on
The
the
calories.
body. Yeah, so the starches is really, really bad.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that we are allowing outsiders coming in and buying up their land and using the soil for GMO foods. So you're going to the markets, like she said, she did a study on why the oranges don't have vitamin C in it. They're not real oranges. Even here in Kenya, I'm finding grapes, I'm finding oranges imported, don't have seeds in it. So of course there's no value to it. But this is what's being pushed on to lower income people, because you're not going to find people with a lot of money or Caucasians eating these food products. But they're going to ship it into us saying, oh, you can produce a lot more, you can produce it faster, and but it damages the soil. And not just that immediate soil, but the soil that's all around, regardless if that farmer is using those chemicals, those fertilizers, it's damaging the soil in that whole area. So the food quality, even though it's not directly to them, is damaging to all of us.
Exactly. True. There's a lady who had her hand. Oh, come on, Mr. Kamana, all the way.
I'll try and see if we can limit the questions.
Sure.
The presentation, okay?
She'll be the last. And there's a gentleman, I think, who had one. Huh?
No, that.
Here, there.
Just to add on what she said about lifestyle, I feel that most Africans, because I'm an African as well, and this is something that I've seen most Africans do or say, they have this mindset where they believe that eating out or not eating the African food makes you cool. So everybody is trying to keep up and trying to be cool because they don't want to be seen that they are not living now.
Uncivilized.
Yeah, uncivilized.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I feel that this is so much misinformation, and I just wish people understand how much lucky we are that we have lands and farms that we can grow our own food without any limitation.
Sure. Great. Okay, because of time, we're gonna keep going. If you how many people are in Twitter, X, now known as X, how many people have accounts there? Yeah. So if you go to my page at VHN Henry, VHN capitalized Henry, you will find I have a QR code you can scan, and then you get the presentation. So why are African, next. What have you been told about African foods that has made you believe it's not good for you? Just two people. Something you've been told. Why are you eating that? Really? What is wrong with you? Who has ever told you that? Why are you eating that? What's wrong with you? Yeah? Who has been shamed? Yeah?
When you find yourself taking with your African leafy vegetables, someone will be like, why are you eating that? Do you not have money to buy some meat, maybe eggs?
Exactly.
Add to that meal.
Exactly. Yet green leafy vegetables have a lot of minerals and vitamins which make up our health. So can you go to the next one? So African foods promotion of holistic well-being. That's what Ms. Lisa was talking about. So a lot of ingredients, I'm going to shock you, a lot of ingredients that are in the conventional medicine have their roots back where? In Africa. Either in plants, in flowers, like this Cadaranthus process. This flower has an ingredient that is used to cure cancer, as they say, to cure cancer, okay? But they use an ingredient that is there to make the cancer medicines, all right? Yeah. So if you can be able to not only eat healthy, not only eat African foods, but also eat African food that is grown in healthy soil, then you have a way of preventing lifestyle diseases. Can we go to the next one? How can you encourage consumption of African foods? Yeah? Get in touch with your African roots, like you're doing now. And I challenge Kia, I challenge Wakesho and Mr. Kamwana, like, you need to organize a way how people can be taught cooking different types of African foods, maybe next time, right? Yeah, then they can take that home.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, one, how was food grown before invasion of white man? You need to get in touch with that. How was food grown before the invasion of white man in Africa? Okay? Yeah? Did I miss that? Learn the meaning behind certain foods. Like we've been taught about naming, okay? Everything in Africa has a reason. It's not just a name, it's not just food, it has a reason. They have a deeper meaning, okay? So learn the meaning behind certain foods, e.g. why certain foods were meant for women and not men, for example. I know in my culture we have that. And I know some of it might not be very scientific, but if you really dig into it, you will see the science in it, okay? Because, for example, if men want to go to the farm and farm, then they have to eat certain foods that are high in energy, okay? And women, perhaps at that time, they were not going to do farm work, then they don't have to eat too much. That's what she's talking about, the calories. Okay, so that balance was there. Number 3, pass the knowledge of African foods to the younger generations. Okay, I have seen. Actually, I had a conversation with someone who said, and this is very, very complex. I don't want to simplify it. It's also very complex. For example, I know why a lot of Kenyans don't like githeri, because githeri is a poor man's food. So it's what is generally available at homes. So when if someone grows up in a family where Every day is Gideri is perhaps because they cannot afford to change that food. So they get traumatized, you know? Yeah, they get traumatized. This is the cycle something, our psyche affects our physiology and our food choices. So you get traumatized, and I'm like, maybe siwezi patia watoto wangu Gideri. Okay, I cannot feed my children Gideri. Because you associate Gideri with poverty. Okay? And when you associate Gideri with poverty, you want to run away from poverty. Who wants to be poor? Yeah? So there is an element of psychology in it as well. So I've had a lot of people who grew up in a household like that say, I'm not going to give Gideri to my children. So you need to pass that knowledge. And one way is like what I'm telling Mr. Kamona to do with vacation maybe the next time. Okay, so how can you encourage consumption of African foods? Just two people, other than what I've said. How else can you encourage consumption of African foods? Yeah, please.
Yeah, I think we should encourage local. Who wants to?
So first of all, I'll say this.
Yes.
When I was younger, we were poor, but not of food. We were poor of money. We did not have money, but we never slept hungry. Why? Because we grew our own food.
Wow.
And so hunger came with, missing things to participate in capitalism, but things that we needed to be ourselves in our village we had. And so in order to encourage consumption of more African food, we need to encourage our people to stay in the villages and farm. Because the bearing right now is crooked. A lot of Africans think that the American dream is a thing. A lot of Africans think that, white collar jobs is what has salvation. So a lot of people are moving from the villages to the city, crowding the city, and so nobody is planting food.
Yeah. It's true. Another way, one more, that Mr. Someone? Mr. Mushua?
Yes, another way is to do urban farming. Since 2018, the Kenyan government passed what we call the Urban Farming Act. So you can do a lot of vertical farming. We are doing wall gardening. You can use sacks, you can use buckets, all kind of a thing. And the other issue I came a little bit is about water harvesting. Very unfortunate that this country and most of Africa doesn't do that. When it rains, the rain is killing people, animals, destroying crops. As it goes to the Indian Ocean, it becomes salt water. After a few months, people are dead because of hunger. And I was in Egypt during COP27. They are doing a lot of water harvesting. Israel is doing the same, and I believe neighboring Rwanda. So if this country and African continent can do a lot of water harvesting, we can do water pumps, we can do a lot of gutters. So I think we can encourage people to grow their own foods, and more importantly, teaching our children from early age to start farming, so that as they grow older, to be able to ensure that they are growing their own foods. Thank you.
Very good point. Yeah. We have Mr. Kamana here, just one.
I think I can project my voice enough to where,
Okay.
a microphone. As you were about to say, you was talking about the children, as you was expressing that. We need to put the message in the music, just like all other social messages is out here. We need to apply that whole concept within the music.
Sure.
So
music.
It's sung, applied in plays, shows,
yes.
all of that kind of thing. It's just putting it in active activities, talking about it. That doesn't resonate as much as when you put it in the music. And that's something I do. I use hip hop as an educational tool.
Wow.
Called Hip Hop
Maybe you should do
Education.
some for us.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Right? Yeah.
My name is Joan, and my biggest concern is not that we are not growing our food. Yes, we are not. But now that we're in that platform, I need you to push for quality seeds. You see the githeri you're talking about?
That is true.
The beans we ate 10 years ago were 90% protein. In fact, anyone who has diabetes, I would advise them not to eat githeri. Githeri is starch.
Yeah.
I like Miss Elizabeth Roshan said, I have seen what diabetes can do.
Yeah.
My dad was on pharmaceutical drugs for many years. He's been on dialysis for 5 years now. And no, that's fine. But now I have seen what food can do. So I no longer say we need to plant our own food. No, what food are you eating? Yes, potatoes are ours, sweet potatoes are ours. Sweet potato we ate when we were growing up. It's not the same sweet potato.
That's true.
So this is a challenge to you.
Yeah.
I'm throwing to you, Ms. Patricia, because we go to those rooms.
Yeah.
Please tell them we need quality seeds.
Sure.
Because they will take you to those places and tell you, oh, you need to come to whatever country to come and talk to. But they do not want you to talk about the quality of the seeds that they're bringing to Africa.
That's true. I agree. Yeah, I agree. As I said, as I've been doing my research, I found that to be a problem. That's true. Okay, the next one I think I'm about to finish. Yeah, so that's me. I visited a small-scale farmer one time. He's doing, Mr. Kamara, what is that? The round things.
Oh, those are vertical gardens.
Vertical gardens. That is what he's talking about, the urban farming. Okay. Yeah, and let me just shock you. Mr. Kamona is farming his own food.
Yeah.
Right here. He's farming his own food. This is his farm. Okay? Right here in Nairobi, he's farming his own food, organic. Alright? So you can all get in touch with him. Maybe he can sell some to you, alright? Or teach you how to do it. So, as I said, I am a nutritionist. I am very passionate about African food security systems, from agriculture to distribution to retail, and how it affects the biochemistry of food and thus bioavailability of nutrients. I work with small-scale farmers in providing them with this. On my pages, I have a donation button. If you would like to donate, go there. Patricia, I think I have put Patricia Henry in Facebook, in TikTok, Patricia Henry TV, in Twitter, the same. And I also host a podcast for CEOs who are contributing to food security systems. And that is very interesting what you said, Mr. Max, about music, using music to do that. Maybe I should post you my podcast. Yeah?
Let's build.
Is that the last one?
Hey,
Yeah.
Question time. Okay.
Yeah.
And not a moment too soon.
Okay, y'all know, like the Veggie Man, he's ABI Organics, and what he does is help farmers set up their organic farms. Oh, y'all talk? Yeah, because he's a Veggie Man, you know, music is his thing also, and so he brings it out in the music too.
Yeah, I'm also
Okay. Yeah. So, questions for me, please?
Hello, guys. Just to touch on like foods, I feel like most Africans we don't actually understand foods and like what type of food to eat. I know you guys have baobab here. Anybody know about baobab?
What?
Baobab, yeah. The fruit. There's a fruit, and that fruit is actually rich in a lot of magnesium.
Oh yeah.
That's good. And that magnesium that our sister talk about, a person with heart problem, the fruit. You can get the fruit and the powder, and that is very good. And just to touch on like the difference between food, you have acidic food and alkaline food. So as the sister talk about like pH of the soil, you know, your body should be in an alkaline state. So you always should focus on alkaline foods. And I have a website called veganchoicefoods.com. You guys can check it out and learn about like the foods you can eat that are alkaline.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great.
So veganchoicefoods.com.
Great.
Thank you.
Great.
Who else has a question?
I'm only going to take 2 questions because of time. Only to this lady.
Yes, okay.
You can ask me first now.
Okay, yes. Okay, Duhan?
If not you, who?
Sure.
If not now, when? You are here because you heard the clarion call. Stay tuned for part 2. This is just the beginning. Am I right, Lady Kia? Let's give Lady Kia and the staff a hand right now. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for being awake, and keep listening, because I know you heard something here today that can help you. Stay tuned for part 2.
Wow. Great. Great.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you so much.
We have another question here. Or
Actually, as a comment, I think we need to think very seriously about value addition. In this country, we produce a lot of food, but we never value add. Number 2, about food distribution. You go to some countries in Kenya, they produce a lot of food like Nyandarua, but some countries are dying because of food. The other issue is food conservation. How do we conserve our food? I'm told that of our food goes to waste. So I think, of course, we also need to talk about food quantity. I think Africans, we are overfeeding, we're eating a lot. We don't need to eat a lot of food. Equivalent of whatever is enough for you. So we need to start disciplining our stomachs so that we eat less. At times, we have a lot of gyms in Kenya and Africa because of overeating. Let's eat less. Thank you.
I would like to have a comment too on nutrition, Patricia. Okay, and I can only say this because I'm not inside the game.
Okay.
Our fertilizers,
That's what's causing
made
acidity.
usually in Eastern Europe, Russia. Okay, those are the ones that are making our soils acidic.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So you plant a carrot, by the time it's ripe, okay, it looks like a carrot, smells like a carrot, but there is no beta carotene in it. And it's something that you said to Madam Kudesa, okay, about planting this and nothing. So I think even the revision of our review of compost, and I think Patricia, if you would remember in our schools, we were told compost or any kind of natural fertilizer is not even worth mentioning. So I think we need to change our perception. Right?
One more, this one.
So one thing that I did in America that I don't hear people talking about, when you talk about compost, the one thing that will give you natural fertilized or organic soil is to get worms.
Worms?
Worms, yes.
Yeah.
Let the worms eat the compost. But if you put it in your gardens, they will naturally, through their worm castings or poop, naturally give you a healthy soil. You don't need chemicals, I'm telling you. Just get one batch of worms and they'll multiply in a garbage can or a bucket or anything. And just throw your food in there and they'll survive and multiply. You just sprinkle a little in your soil and it'll be just like the opposite of lime. Lime is when it's, not a single. But anyway, you get my point.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My point is also on food security, especially in our African nations, because we are told about the basic need is food. Once your stomach is good, you are able to think well, you are able to be creative. And my friend was telling me, sometimes we have a great problem with our students, our people in school, not because they are not, their head is not okay, but their stomach there is nothing. So I think for me, it's a challenge even to the government, for those who have linked to the ministries, to the government, is we check our priorities. We don't have to put a lot of money, budget on education, and yet there is nothing on food. So I think once we have taken care of our food, then everything else comes very well. Like when I was in the States, food is everywhere. You don't have to think what you are going to eat tomorrow or the day. But here, that's why we are not able to be innovative, because you are asking, now, what am I going to eat tomorrow? So I think that's the basic. So we really appreciate, and we hope that the conversation that has started is going to take us far and far, because we cannot be compete with the first world if our stomachs are empty. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
So I'm so grateful. Wakesha, thank you so much, Mr. Kamwana and the rest of the team, and all of you, thank you for listening. If you would like to be part of helping small-scale farmers, help them in accessing information and helping them increase their produce productivity in helping with organic farming, I will greatly appreciate your help. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Patricia.
Thank you, Patricia. Thank you.